These are some of the 800 members of the D.C. National Guard that have been brought into service to provide support for federal law enforcement agencies on the ground. And D.C. is about to see an influx of even more. The governors of Ohio, West Virginia, and South Carolina have all announced they're sending hundreds of members of their National Guards to support the president's efforts to combat crime here in D.C. This is on top of the 800 D.C. National Guard members who are already on the ground here. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen this morning called this an abuse of power.
The National Guard, first of all, is not supposed to engage in any local law enforcement activity. The abuse of power is claiming that this is an emergency. Everybody who's watching what happens knows that this is not an emergency in Washington, D.C.
But former Vice President Mike Pence sided with his former boss.
I think it's important what the president is doing. I fully support it. And I think the American people welcome the president taking decisive action to ensure the streets of our nation's capital are safe.
President Trump only has these emergency powers for 30 days. Any longer, and he'll have to get congressional approval, something that at this point...
They're moving in to crush these protesters.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already found us, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel, where we post one cooking video a week. We try our best to post at least one cooking video a week, and then we post our Sunday-Gunday content. We try to post at least once a week. We've been a little bit busy. Second Amendment content related to firearms. We've been doing a lot of fair use videos lately, a lot of stuff that's going on in the news when it comes to the Second Amendment community, and a lot of other topics that have been going on recently in the news with the riots. A lot of these riots and civil unrest that we've been seeing on the news. Been seeing a lot of chaos, been seeing a lot of lawlessness. People are unstable. There's a lot of civil disorder, a lot of civil disruption. We try our best to not be negative on this channel. We don't want to paint a picture that's going to make people uneasy. We're not trying to be fear mongers, or we're not trying to fear monger or make anybody nervous or uneasy. We just want you guys to be aware. We're putting a lot of this content out. That way you guys can be aware of situations that we're seeing on the news. There's a lot going on. There was a lot going on in LA in the last couple of months. There was a situation going on in LA about, I believe it was two or 3 months ago, maybe 2 months ago, with the riots that were going on. Now we're seeing a lot of activity. We're seeing stuff in DC. That's this video for tonight. It's going to be the federal takeover of Washington DC. That's basically the federal takeover. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, has activated National Guard, over 1,500 troops, a combination of troops and National Guard and federal agents from all kinds of agencies, from ICE, Homeland Security Investigations, Customs and Border Patrol, FBI, and the list goes on. Federal agencies, the federal government's huge. The Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, there's all kinds of different agencies out there. So for tonight, we're gonna post this video. We'll try to wrap it up, not make it too long. We're gonna go through our disclosure and shout outs, and then we'll get to the nitty gritty, so you guys can be aware of what's going on, and then we'll try to wrap this up quick for tonight. So welcome back to the channel. William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel. Today's Sunday-Gunday. I don't remember what episode it is, but we'll put it in the description below. We post our gun reviews, once again, gun reviews, medical equipment reviews, and other safety tips, navigating in uncertain times that we're living in. This channel's for educational purposes only. We preach lawful self-defense. We're by no means gun fanatics. We're not giving any legal advice, of course. We're just simply voicing our opinions. And we're not claiming to be firearms experts. We're just simply giving you guys reasons why you should maintain your firearms, legally and responsibly maintain those firearms, and what you should and should not do. Message to the trolls: we get trolls on every video. They get on the comment section writing all kinds of weird stuff. We're not going to tolerate it. We're simply going to just block you, like our other channels we collaborate with. We've got Gun Freak Nation on YouTube, Trey 57 Production, and finally we have the Alert Zone TV. These are 3 channels on YouTube that we collaborate with. Do the same thing we're doing tonight: fair use videos, gun reviews, and all kinds of good content, safety equipment reviews and stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. We're coming from 16 years of law enforcement experience. Myself, I've been an armed security guard in the state of Florida since 2010. Been employed with companies like Blackwater, Whack and Hunt, G4S, and Department of Homeland Security, federal government. So that's just some of the experience where we're coming from, so you guys could be aware. So for tonight, we have the federal takeover of Washington, D.C. This has been going on for about a week now. Been seeing on the news. There's been a lot of violence taking place in the city of Washington, D.C. Basically, President Trump ordered National Guard to be deployed. I don't know exactly how many National Guardsmen, but it's about 1,500 total between National Guard and federal law enforcement agents. I think it's about 800 National Guard troops that have already been deployed to Washington, D.C., and that includes another 500 federal law enforcement agents. All these different agencies that we mentioned before. It's basically a response to the lawlessness and crime that has been taking place in the city of Washington, D.C., kind of like a repeat of what was happening in the LA riots that we saw recently, not too long ago. A lot of lawlessness, a lot of attack on law enforcement, attack on police vehicles, a lot of destruction, arson, a lot of criminal activity. The city's been met with resistance from elected officials and residents who are arguing that this is an authoritarian push, and that it's a risk to the community. We've had a lot of other people that have gone on the news saying that that this is actually a safety concern and a safety risk, and if they don't have National Guard deployed and these other federal agents, that their safety is at risk and they don't feel safe. So there's a lot of pushback from both sides. Everybody's different, not everybody on the same page. Some people are against this, some people are not for this takeover by the federal government. So this deployment has been met with a lot of resistance, depending on who you are. The president's justification is basically that the deployment is necessary to combat the rise in crime and restore order in the nation's capital. The DC official's response: the mayor of DC, Mayor Bowser, has rejected the claim that the crime is out of control. She states that violence has always been decreasing, and that there's no need for a deployment right now, and that this is authoritarian, once again, authoritarian push. National Guard's role in this is they're going to be tasked with supporting law enforcement, including tasks like security, crowd control, and logistics. They're going to be equipped with weapons. It's not exactly sure when they'll be equipped with these weapons, or if they're going to be equipped with these weapons as soon as the boots hit the ground. But from what we're being told, they will be armed if they have to. We don't know if they're going to be armed right at this second. There's 3 Republican-led states. We've got the governors of West Virginia, governor of South Carolina, and governor of Ohio that are supporting the president's action and sending National Guard and federal agents to DC to support, sending the support staff. These 3 Republican-led states, their governors have activated their troops. They're going to be sending a couple of hundred troops I'm not sure of the exact number of how many troops per state, but once again, West Virginia, we've got South Carolina and Ohio. They're sending National Guard to DC at the president's request. Once again, you know, this deployment, it's sparking protests and criticism from DC residents who view it as an overreach of federal power and misrepresentation of the city's situation right now. Everybody could go into their own, you know, criticism and say what they want to say about the situation, but we're seeing it on the news. A lot of people are worried. Somebody like me, you know, I give my opinion sometimes on here. Sometimes I give my opinion. In my opinion, it's better to be safe than sorry. I don't agree, once again, with everything we're seeing. I don't agree with every single thing we're seeing, but when it comes to these kinds of things, you know, the stuff we saw in LA is unacceptable. A lot of people want to paint a picture that that it was all good and what happened in LA was just protesting and it was peaceful. That's the exact opposite of what happened. We're not being told everything that's been happening on the news. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of people are trying to paint the picture to be something that it's not. We could sit here and argue all day long, but it's better safe than sorry, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So basically, these troops have been federalized by the President of the United States. They're state troops, National Guard. Basically, National Guard is a state force. They sometimes get deployed out of the country when they're activated. Reserves or National Guard can get activated. They can be activated and sent abroad, but they never act officially in the United States as a domestic force. They have never been used in that manner, but they are being used in that manner right now. So they're the same weight, the same standard as the federal troops, which would be the active duty. Right now, the DC Metro Police is under federal control as we speak. The DC Metro Police has been told to abide by federal authorities and federal authorities and their orders. Once again, 1,500 National Guard troops deployed by President Trump. Combination of National Guard and federal agents from all these different agencies. We mentioned the 3 states that are supporting the president. These are 3 states so far. That number can go up depending on how much the need is for additional personnel. So once again, a lot of people are worried about what happened in the LA riots. They don't want to see this. They don't want to see a repeat of this in DC. So far, there's been a few stats here that we've gotten from people on the channel that have sent us emails and stuff informing us of what's been going on the last week. The last week, there's been about 240 arrests. 38 firearms have been confiscated. Additional arrests in the last 24 hours, or 52 arrests in the last 24 hours. 28 of those arrests were by federal officers, and they were transferred to ICE detention. So these are people that were wanted by ICE, people that were not in legal status. 28 of those arrests in the last 24 hours. So far, all military personnel has been posted in Union Station, DC. That's Union Station, Washington, D.C. These personnel are posted in this location. This is their main location where they're going to be preparing for any kind of critical incident, and then they'll disperse and be basically separated and placed off-site in different locations to provide security. National Guard, federal agents, FBI, ICE, Homeland Security. This is the location where they're all going to meet up, and then they're going to be dispersed. So we're going to wait and see. We're going to wait and see what else we see on the news. If we see any more chaos, if we see some more order maintained, you know, having the military personnel and the federal agents maintain law and order. Hopefully the situation cools down. But if not, there might be more personnel sent by other states. You know, possibility. Florida is a possibility. Governor of Florida, I wouldn't doubt that if Governor of Florida starts sending some of his National Guard or Florida State Guard to assist. So we're just gonna have to keep watching the news, keep you guys informed. All right, we're gonna try our best to keep you guys informed of the situation. So we're gonna wrap this up for tonight. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys for subscribing and adding the channel, subscribing, liking our videos, and share the videos so we can reach out to more people. We appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for the next Sunday-Gunday video that we're going to try to post and some more cooking content. And then we'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.